Hey guys, how's everyone doing? Wolverine here on DayZ patch 60. It's here, it's stable, and everyone's excited. But what's changed? We gotta know where's everything spawned, where's everything at? We don't know. We're here to explore. And sometimes you're unfortunate and sometimes you're unlucky and you don't find everything. So this is my guide to update 60 tips and advice loot spawns. All food, drink, weapons, all that kind of juicy stuff. So hope you enjoy and let's get cracking because we've got a lot to discuss. Okay, so this is how we're going to do it. We're going to do it in 3 categories. First category is food and drink. Second category is rifles and pistols. And third category is military and crash sites. So it's just from how to survive, to defend yourself, to end game material, so you get the idea. So first things first, we'll cover the important parts as a fresh one. Where do you find food and drink? Here we go. So I'd say one of the biggest changes to the game, other than the graphic optimization, is items spawn in clothing now, and that's a good resource of finding food. In all residential homes, a lot of clothing spawns, and there's a good chance of you finding food in clothing. So when you go past some clothes, be sure to check if there's anything inside them. Food, ammo, all sorts. Check it out. The next 3 short clips are residential homes. Food still spawns in all different types of residential homes, same as food and drink. So it's a lot harder to find them, but they do spawn there. So if you're struggling to find food and drink in the homes, there's nothing in the residential homes, you gotta go to stage 2 to find food. Where is it? The next stage is deer huts and deer stands. Now both of them have a good chance of spawning in food and drink, and other items such as weapons, ammo and clothing, which I'll come to later. But the fact is, deer huts and deer stands, they're all around most cities and towns around the coast. Get a DayZ map up and you should be able to find one really close to you wherever you spawn, and there's a chance you'll find food and drink to keep you going. And worst case scenario, if you're struggling to this point, you can always go to the motherlode military tents. These little wooden compartments spawn rice and tactical bacon, basically the highest energizing food you could get, and you're risking your life, but you're gonna starve. If you're that desperate, then military tents, especially Mosquito, is the place to go. And also the first aid tents as well, and some of the military tents spawn food and drinking. So there you have it guys, that's where you get food and drink from as you survive throughout DayZ and the rest of the map. So now that we got the food and drink out of the way, let's move on to the weapons, rifles and pistols. Since the day I started DayZ standalone, the first thing I learned, the best place of getting a weapon was always at the police station. But in this patch, the police station has been nerfed. This is just one clip of me looting the police station, endless, not finding much. But luckily, because this server was just opened, I managed to find 3 items. 2 Makarov magazines and a box of 9mm ammo. Oh, and a can of pop or alcohol, a drink. So my point is though, this is not a very good place to find a weapon to defend yourself, and that's a major shock. I mean, it's a police station, and the respawn rate seems to be really low on the police stations as well. I mean, you might be lucky, you might find a pistol, you might find an MP5, but it doesn't look good for the police stations anymore, which, that's up to the devs. If they want to reduce the police station, then that's fine. They're trying something different. They're making us search other places for weapons. So, as you can see up here, I'm on the roof. No clothing. 2 magazines of Makarov ammo and a drink. And I finally find a box of 9mm ammo. So where do you go? Where's the new place you find weapons and ammo? So this is quite embarrassing. I don't know the actual building of this. It's some kind of like check-in building, and I've noticed every time I got in, they spawn weapons practically every pistol. I haven't seen an FNX yet, but come on, that's a crash site gun anyway. But other than that, every pistol has spawned in here with attachments, which is and the odd magazine, which is brilliant. I've also seen a MP5 spawn as well, so that's pretty good. That's like the new place, especially when you're on the coast. This was up below to. And just to prove my theory, I went further up north just to check each one. A Glock with a magazine, another empty Glock, a Glock with a pistol, not a pistol, a flashlight. And, well, there you have it. I mean, this is like the new police station. Even better because it's practically guaranteed a gun and almost ammo with it. And just to, even better, just to further prove my point, rifles are in as well, carbines, repeaters. So if that's the case, I haven't seen a Mosin or Winchester spawn or Blazon there yet, but there's hope if you think about it. Rifles are spawning in those check-in booths. So check those booths, guys, when you're on the coast. Ever seen those odd metal towers on the coast? This one was at Berezino, and they're kind of like a copy replica at the ones at the Northwest Airfield. And now and again, I noticed it's always a rare loot spawn. And I saw the odd loot explosion on the airfield, and I just wanted to check my theory. Look at that, a gun. 2 guns. A rifle and a pistol. There's chances of guns spawning with ammo at Berezino, guys. You should check it out. And just to prove my theory, this one was at Komarovo. Trumpet with a scope. Not the best gun, but it's a gun nonetheless with a hunting scope. So there is another idea for you guys to check out. They spawn at the Northwest Airfield, but by the time you get to the airfield, you should find a gun by then. But desperate times for desperate measures. It's worth a look. Carriageways are a good solid option on the coast as well. The odd gun spawns there, and also some ammo for certain guns as well. But cars, they're hit and miss now. They have been nerfed as well. You used to be able to find a lot of guns and cars. You can't find as many, but there's still chance, so be sure to check the cars out as well. Residential homes haven't changed. They still spawn in handguns, rifles, from magnums to Mosins to shotguns to crossbows to amphibiouses. Practically every gun low tier you'd find on the coast anyway. That has not changed, just a rarity. But all is not lost. Deer stands and deer huts are making a comeback. They spawn in a lot more rifles and the chance of spawning attachments and ammo next to it. So this is good from SKSs to carbines to Mosins and Winchesters also. And also make sure you check the clothing. For people who are struggling to find Winchester ammo, it has become quite rare. They spawn in deer huts and deer stands and in the clothing. Make sure you check their hunting clothes as well. And also the rare chance in residential homes. So just be sure to keep your eyes peeled for those Winchester rounds, guys. Okay, let's move to military zones and crash sites. So thankfully I joined a low server where 60 was released to stable straight away, and I managed to loot every military zone, work my way up and have a fair amount of idea what spawns where in all the buildings. So we're going to start from Pavlovo, Zalin, Moschino, Northwest Airfield and Tisley, and get an idea what spawns in all the military buildings. So the old barracks are still pretty good. A lot of stuff spawns in the showers, a lot of medical stuff, but the new bags, black and green assault backpack, have been added now. You can get these from the old barracks, are always surrounded by the bunkers. There are loads. I believe it's 32 slots, so it's a lot of ammo, and they do look a bit thinner, better than a couple of the bags, and a bit more compact. So if you want one of those bags, just make sure you hit an old barrack. They spawn very frequently, guys. As you can see, I got a choice between black and green. A lot of clothing, a lot all those camo, the Gorka type of clothing, still spawning in the barracks. So for your waterproof and camouflage, it's still a good option to, if you need some green clothing, to check these old barracks out. I also must say, I know hospitals spawn hospital gear in, so you know that you can get that stuff from the coast. But if you miss it by chance, or there isn't anything in the hospitals on the coast, chest holsters and press vests spawn in the hospital. So if you can't find that assault vest, maybe it's worth picking up a press vest and or a chest holster just for the meantime. Just thought I'd put that out there. Also, this one caught me off. Harley, my girlfriend, found this for me. Mosin ammo is spawning in like an industrial building, which I didn't know that happens. It was in the Pavlova military, and I couldn't find. I didn't know, and so it's worth checking that out. Mosin ammo in industrials, maybe. And also, I just checked the rangefinder. The battery's still not working right, so I just chuck those rangefinders away. So we made it to Zelen military barracks, and we're going to search the new barracks. Now the item has changed a little bit, looting in. It seems like there's nothing here, but you have to check the lockers, on top of the lockers, inside the lockers, underneath the beds. As you can see there, found a iPod. Also, we almost missed a assault vest under the bed, so it's always worth double checking these buildings. It always seems like nothing's in there, but they're just really well hidden. So be sure to check the lockers and under the bed, guys. At least something hasn't changed. AK rounds are spawning in the lockers and on the bed. Magazines and loose rounds. So like I said, guys, they're easy to miss. I almost missed the magazine if it wasn't for Harley pointing that out. So if you want your AK bullets, the new barracks are still the place to go. I had a bit more look at these older barracks at Zelen compared to Pavlovo. Clothing, M65 jackets, green jumpers. Also items spawning in, magnum rounds, sewing kit, all that kind of stuff, which is obviously good green camo, that kind of stuff. SVD mags for the Mosin bullets are spawning in. Also clothing with the new UMSC jacket, which is an 8-slotter to match the pants, which is new. Also MP5 magazines are spawning in these old barracks as well. The 15 bullet mags and the 30 bullet mags. We actually found 3. As you can see, they're in the ground a little bit. They're sunk in the ground, so be sure to just keep an eye out for that little bright bullet. Maybe press tab as you walk through down the corridor. So yeah, as again, guys, the UMSC jacket, woodland, it matches the trousers now. It's an 8-slotter, same size as an M65 jacket, just different camo. Not my thing, but you guys might like it. It's a nice change to the M65 jacket. How's it going, guys? You're still with me? It is a long video, isn't it? But we're almost done. We just need to cover Moschino and Northwest Airfield and the crash sites, and I'll show Tisley at the end. So this is now where we're heading to Moschino. This is my favourite place to get the military loot. It seems to be just the best for battles as well. So we started heading into the compound, had some zombie trouble, took the zombies out, and then we just started looting the tents. Now the military tents are obviously the best place to get the loot. Not much has changed with what loot is spawning, except more guns are added in, which obviously is better. And also the ammo and clothing are in as well, and also landmines, so you've got to be careful with the landmines. The newest feature that's been added into spawns is guns with attachments and ammo randomized, so you could find a gun with a scope and some ammo, or a gun with just some ammo, or half-filled magazine or clip. So it's always worth checking the tents, because you might find an AK-101 with a magazine. It just so happens I found one. So for those Mosin users and SKS users, the best place to find a PU scope is the white wooden watchtowers at the military tents, because you tend not to find them as much. They tend to spawn on the Mosin and SKS randomly. It's quite rare. I've only seen one PU on an SKS. So your best bet is, guys, those white wooden towers. Officer tents have been nerfed yet again. Not many guns seem to spawn here anymore. I actually haven't seen one yet. It tends to be just clothing, bags and tents. So if you need a tent for a base, maybe check them out, because I have seen military tents do spawn there. The new barracks at the Northwest Airfield, they tend to spawn weapons in. We found an AKM, a large capacity vest, an SVD mag. My sources also told me that SVD guns can be found in these new barracks. I cannot confirm this because I have not seen it with my own eyes, but people have said that they spawn here, so just keep an eye out, guys. It could happen. I mean, the SVD mag spawned there, so there's a chance. So just keep your eyes peeled. Make sure you check under those beds. So I did a quick run around at the Northwest Airfield tents. Found a couple of attachments for an M4 and also a PS01 scope for the AK variant family, and a couple orgs and the SS Vinterez. So that's more guns are spawning at the tents, and also you can see the counterpart magazines for the guns as well. The only magazine I could not find was the Vinterez magazine, which I have been told and witnessed they spawn at crash sites. I've only seen the loose bullets. I have yet to see a magazine for the Vinterez. Sorry, I forgot to mention they spawn at Russian crash sites. One of the new features that have been added in patch 60 is a new military base called Tisley. I think that's how you pronounce it, Tisley. Anyway, a bunker, new building has been added, and I was fortunate to survive, and also find some weapons and AK-101 in a bunker kind of building. That was pretty cool, nice to find, nice surprise. And after that, there was just a couple old barracks and a couple new barracks with the same kind of loot you would find, nothing different, just a new place to find loot. I'll put it on the map now and just give you an idea where it is roughly. As you can see, it's just northwest of the Northwest Airfield. See what I did there? Anyway, see all that red part? That's obviously the new parts that have been implemented. So if you head up that way, there are a lot more residential homes, a new area to explore, and also a military base to go exploring. I have not witnessed any PvP. Well, I have, but I haven't pulled the trigger. So it should be interesting. A new good firefight situation there. It will be pretty cool.
The next barrack is dead.
God damn it, dude. Wow. Oh, what?
Oh my god. Fuck, dude.
And last but not least, crash sites. To me, crash sites have become a lot more frequent, a lot more chance of finding them, and the loot's quite generous. You still find a lot of loot, magazines, ammo and weapons. All the weapons from previous patches are spawning in there, the M4s, the AUGs, the AKs, the AK-101, the Vinterez, the SVD, they're all there. The Russian crash sites seem to be a bit more generous, but a bit more unstable. SVDs and Vinterez, I have not seen them at a Russian crash site, and anyone I've asked still have not been able to answer me that question. Mosin ammo, MP5, AK-74 bullets. I found a Smirch vest, so it's not all doom and gloom. So there might be a chance. It's just you're more in luck when you find stuff at American crash site. But the most exciting gun, I think, other than the SVD, possible chance of a magazine spawning in, is the FAL with a magazine with Winchester bullets already in. Now, come on, if you find a FAL with a magazine at American crash site, it's like end game material. Just so happens I found one. Unfortunately, the ACOG scope and the red dot scope on the FAL do not work. They work on the M4, but not on the FAL, which is a shame. But once that gets fixed, that's going to be like the game changer weapon. So that's it, guys. that's it of the loot spawn, and it's been a long 20-minute video, hasn't it? So if you've been with me to this point, thank you for watching, guys. If you've really enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. That'll be really helpful. It just helps promote my video a lot more on YouTube for more people to watch on their recommendations and all that. So please give it a like. Every like really does help. Also, let me know in your comments, let me know your experiences in 60, any items you spawned somewhere else which I've missed, anything I need to know, because I'm gonna have a black screen now on my video at the end. I'm gonna add annotations with any changes, anything I've missed out. So if you guys have noticed something I've missed, let me know and I can update it at the end of the video so people can get confirmation that where the loot is it accurate, has it changed. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please give a like in the comments, and if you're new, please subscribe. Every subscribe number counts, every like counts, and I am interested in all your comments. I do read them all and I try to reply back to as many as I can. Thank you for watching, guys. You guys are awesome, and be sure to check out my next video, which is going to be how to survive in patch 60 with just one item. It's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be one of them if the loot economic system is scarce, where you're struggling to find stuff. Okay, guys, thank you for watching. Take care. Bye.